Hello, everyone, and welcome to Awaken to Happiness Now. I'm your host, Shefali Burns. Thank you so much for being with us. I'm so excited about today. We have Michelle Carter on the show, and she's live also on video, so we're really excited about that. And of course, we love having Michelle on the show. The energies are always so high. And so today we get to see each other and have fun and interact. It's going to be so much fun. So, Michelle, welcome to the show. I know how nervous you were about being on video.
Thank you, Shefali.
It's great to have you here.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. It's been a little nerve-wracking, but most of the day I've been quite calm, actually. And when your intro music started, then some nerves kicked in, but deep breathe.
Absolutely. So for those of you who are new to Michelle, let me tell you a little bit about her. International Energy Channel, Michelle Carter connects directly with divine energies to release deep hidden blocks and barriers, preventing you from being your true self. Michelle Carter has experienced a lifetime of illness after illness, which traditional doctors struggled to diagnose and just couldn't cure. The illnesses would shift into something new each time she thought she had cured it, going through chronic colds, tonsillitis, glandular fever, anemia, chronic fatigue syndrome, and ending with a total body breakdown with adrenal fatigue. She was stopped from following her chosen career as a teenager and so spent years of her life going from traditional job to job, trying to find something she enjoyed, whilst having no more luck or happiness in her relationships. In spite of her determination and positive attitude, nothing seemed to go right and stay right. Everything ended up going wrong. She was ready for a big change. Oh my goodness, we can all relate to that, can't we? Sometimes we all go through all these, it just seems like everything is going wrong. And it's like, okay, I'm done, I'm ready. So Michelle discovered that all energy has a vibration, which is stored in our energy field. If the vibration is low, then we attract all the things we don't want. So to get out of ill health, she needed to release all the low vibrations stored in her energy field from previous illnesses, relationships, and all unhappy events. The more she released, the better she started to feel, until finally she felt like she had a healthy and normal functioning body again. After experiencing the amazing benefits of energy healing herself, she began to share it with her clients, who had the same impressive results. Now, Michelle has been doing this for a while now, and she's been on our show a couple of times, and we have experienced such great shifts in energy on these calls, on these shows. And I remember the last time she was on the show, I think it was in March, and it's like the listeners were just stunned by the power of the vibrations of the energy. So, so I don't know what we're going to talk about today, so I'm excited. So, Michelle, if you want to talk a little bit about, just to get started, I just want to talk a little bit about, just the energy and the vibrations and how sometimes these low vibrations can really bring us down and hold us back, and how releasing can help us, because there may be some people who don't know what you mean by releasing, right? So can we just talk about that for a minute before we get to the other stuff, the exciting stuff?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Well, releasing is letting go of anything in your body that you don't want, and we can store energies in our mind, our bodies, our spirits, our energy fields, anything that doesn't make us feel good, basically, is a low vibration. So anger, unhappiness, grief, humiliation, all these low vibrations that we don't enjoy feeling are the ones that we want to release and get rid of. And there are lots of different ways of doing this, but the way that I do it is by connecting to divine energies and asking that the divine energies feel, remove and release, and send these energies direct to source so that they're no longer in our bodies. And if somebody has just got a small amount of energy stored in them, then that can just like zoom out really quickly and it's gone. But if somebody has got a big issue and an issue that's been going on through the whole of their life, or even if it's gone through lots of different lifetimes, then it will take quite a lot of energy releasing to shift that, and people can feel the energy as it's being released. So what I'm doing now, I've discovered through doing too much releasing on myself and feeling all the energies as they're releasing, which sometimes can be unpleasant, is I do a lot more with the high vibrations, and that's asking the divine vibrations to come into us, really filling us up with high divine vibrations, so we're always feeling good. And then when we're feeling good, then you do the release, and these energies will just like zap out that much quicker, because it's it's to do with percentages and what's around. So if these lower vibrations are filled with high vibrations, as soon as you send in the release for them to go, it's like they're surrounded by high vibrations and they don't like it. They want to zoom out and go and have another low vibration party somewhere else. So you can really shift them out really quickly. But when these vibrations are inside you and they're all surrounded by other low vibrations, it's like they're having their own massive, black magnet party inside you, and they don't want to leave. All these magnets are firmly stuck together to each other, and it's like you're really trying to rip them out, kicking and screaming, and they don't want to go. But say if we fill the whole of our mind, body, spirit, and energy field with divine energies first, then they just whiz out so much quicker. And everybody's saying that is it's much more enjoyable, it's more preferable, and it's a bit also to give everybody a visual image. It's just like if you had a cup of black coffee that was like 3/4 filled with black coffee, and the black coffee is all the vibrations, low dark energies inside you stored that you don't want, and you start filling it up with water, then the black coffee is going to overflow over the cup, and eventually if you keep pouring in enough water, which in this instance is the divine energies, then there's going to be no black coffee left in the cup, and just going to have a clear cup of water, which is you filled with high divine energies. And that's when we're in the flow, and we're connecting to vibrations and miracles, and life just becomes easy for us. Things flow, and we end up doing things that we didn't think we would, like being on a video call.
Exactly, like being on a video call. Yeah, fantastic. And I have to tell everybody that I had invited Michelle to do this video hangout. I think it was 2 months ago. I said, let's do a new format, right? And at first she said yes. Oh, she said okay, let's try it. And then she's like, no, I'm just not comfortable with it. I just don't want to do it. And so I said, okay, that's fine. I said, whatever you're comfortable with, that's what we'll do, right? And then she emailed me a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and said, you know what, I think I want to do the video. And I said, okay, great, because I'm happy to do either. So what made you change your mind? Like what happened there?
The universe made me change my mind, which sounds a bit weird, but I was doing a call with my group, 5th of May, I think it was, with my April group, and I'm filling with high vibrations, and this lady called in and she said, could I fill with energies for not wanting to be seen? And I had to sort of I just had a little giggle and what have you, and thought, yeah, I know all about that. And so I shared that you had invited me onto the video call, and I said no, I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to be seen. And then towards the end of the call, a lady who had been to my New York workshop, she was chatting, and she said, having been to the workshop and seen you live, she was just like really, saying people should see you because you look great, the energy's shining out of you, and people really appreciate and value being able to see you. And I thought, yeah, she's got a point, because I like seeing people, and I liked doing the workshops because I could see people. You can tell more from somebody's energy when you can see them than when you're just hearing them. So I thought, yeah, that sounds really good. And then I thought, but that means everybody will be able to see me. I was like, no, I can't do that. And so I shared on that call that one of my big issues actually was my profile picture, because I asked the universe last year, and you had to have a profile picture taken to do the telesummits. Right. And I don't like having my photo taken. I don't like me seen at all. And all the photos I had taken, I thought, no, they're no good. I need to have a new one done. So I said to the universe, okay, if this is what I'm supposed to be doing, I need a really good photo to promote me. So, you're going to have to give me a really good photo, or like I'm not doing it type of thing. And so I went out into the garden, and my daughter had an iPod, and as she lifted the iPod up to take a photo of me, the sun just suddenly burst out from behind the cloud. And I was like, wow, because it was like, to me, the universe was speaking to me, saying, yes, this is your calling, we're shining our light on you to let you know. And I just started laughing because I just was so blown away. And that's the photos that you see. And when I saw the photos, I couldn't quite believe it. I was like, wow, they're amazing. So I was thinking, well, if I go on video, then everybody's going to think I should look like my profile photo. And every time I looked in the mirror, I would be pulling myself apart, say you don't look like your profile photo, so you can't go on the video call.
Right.
But then, you know, the divine energies, you know, were saying that it will be easy. All you have to do is be you. And I thought,
Exactly.
you know, well, yeah, okay, that sounds easy enough. You know, I can just be me. But, you know, I was judging myself, and I was saying that everybody else was going to judge me. But in actual fact, it was me that was judging me. So, and I thought, well, you know, if people do judge me, then are they necessarily the people that I want to spend my time with and be with? Because, as you said at the beginning, I've had a few failed relationships and what have you. So isn't it time to move away from those people who are going to judge me and not be nice to me, not like me, love me the way I am, and just be me and attract people who do love and like me just the way I am? So that was what did it, really. Just thinking, okay, the universe will attract the right people to me if I'm just me, and it just seemed to make it so simple.
Oh, I totally agree. And you know, when I had sent out the email to all of my speakers, you know, and telling them why I wanted to do the Hangouts, see the videos, I said it's because I wanted to be authentic. I wanted to step out of my comfort zone because, you know, I also didn't really want to be seen, you know, even though, you know, like, yeah, I'm global, right? And I talk to so many people all the time, and, you know, I'm on air almost every day, right? But that's still behind a microphone. Right now, in front of a video camera, it's like, I don't know if I feel that comfortable because, you know, some days I'm not having a good hair day. Some days, you know, my skin is breaking out. You know, like sometimes stuff happens, right? And it's like, oh, I don't know if I can do this, you know. And it's like, I'm not blonde, you know. That was the other thing. Like, I'm not blonde. Look at all these people. You know, most personalities are like blonde, right? It's like, oh, I'm not blonde, I'm brunette, you know. It's like, I don't have good hair, and it's like, oh. So, you know, I was really judging myself, right? But I wanted to step beyond that and past that because there's something more about me that I thought was more important than that, and I wanted to share that, and I wanted the speakers to share who they truly are because, you know, you guys are so talented and so skilled, and you're so kind. I want that to show, you know, when we're talking to each other, because it doesn't, I mean, it does for sometimes show up in the calls, but I find during a video I'm getting, you know, a lot of comments from my listeners how they love it because they can really see how authentic and real I am, you know. And so, like, when I'm giggling, I'm giggling. When I'm yawning, I'm really yawning, you know. That's not fake, you know. I yawn when the energy is working, right? So I was really, that's why I did it, and it's because we all need to step out and be ourselves, you know. Whether people judge us or not, that's their problem. It's not ours, right? For us, it's just,
right.
yeah, it's for us to shine and be who we truly are. So I'm so glad that you changed your mind and decided to do this. But it is so true that there are so many people who are afraid of being seen. You know, that is big for a lot of people. Like, you know, for us too, right? It was big for us, right? So why do you think it's such a big issue for people? Is it just the fear of being judged, or is it something else, do you think?
I think the fear of being judged is huge. I mean, the media is very judgmental. I was reading a magazine the other day when I was at the hairdressers, and it was an article about women in the media in the spotlight, just literally being ripped to shreds. You know, they'd have whole articles about why did she wear that dress and her hair looks awful, and just pulling them apart, really. So, you know, the media sells more newspapers if they're horrid about people than if they're nice about people. And, you know, that is very sad, and it really does need to change. And then there's, you know, people, we all may have been judged throughout our lives, and that will have stayed with us. We will have stored magnets in our energy field because we have been judged. And then, you know, other people, especially light workers, they might be afraid that they're going to be attacked if they shine their lights and they're seen, and that can be a big issue as well. So, you know, there could be lots of different issues for people. I mean, a lot of people are self-conscious, like we both said, you know, we're worried that we don't look good enough. And again, that does mainly come back to the media, making us all feel that we have to be amazing and perfect, and just being who we are isn't good enough. But, you know, there's so much going on in the media that is so wrong and needs changing. I mean, you look at all the pop stars, and the majority of them really have huge issues dealing with the fame and the media and the comments, and and that's why so many of them turn to drugs and alcohol in various different ways, because they haven't learned how to deal with it in terms of energy and confidence. And it's like you said earlier, very much judgment is a low vibration. It's one of the vibrations that I would be working on to release with people. Mm-hmm. So if somebody is judging us, then they're not in a very high vibration. And if we want to live happy lives and we want to be in the flow and we want things just to be wonderful for us, then we need to be in a high vibration. So judgment would be something we would be getting rid of. And when we're in that high vibration, then we're going to attract other people in a high vibration. So we wouldn't attract people who are judging us. So somebody then does judge us, then we would just think, like you just said, well, that's their issues, their problems, and we don't need to connect to it. And I think it is amazing that actually, I'm totally, honestly stunned and amazed that I haven't been a nervous wreck, because when I was doing my first audio Tele Summit, I released for months to go on that Tele Summit. Yeah, I did months and months of releasing every day. I did months of releasing to get on that Tele Summit. And even when I did that one, my second Tele Summit was Darius, and I was even worse for that. I was like, oh my God, so freaked out. And I did even more releasing for that. And then for this, it's like, oh my God, this is even worse. I'm going to be seen. But once the universe had its little chat to me and what have you, and said, all you've got to do is be you, and pointed out that, if I'm me, then I'll attract the right people to me. And I thought, well, actually, that's really super cool, because, if somebody said, there's an amazing gadget or app or something that you can buy that's going to attract all the people that you're really going to get on well with into your life and repel all the ones you don't. I mean, people will pay thousands of dollars for that. And, have the universe, the law of attraction, doing it there for us, but totally for free. And all we have to do is be ourselves. And we can say it like that. All we have to do is be ourselves, and it sounds really simple. And in one way it is simple, but in another way it's not so simple, because we do have to get rid of all these layers of low vibrations first, because when all those layers of vibrations are in our energy field, well, sometimes we don't even know who we are. I mean, I can remember times in my life and I think, well, who am I? I don't know who I am. And it's only when you start to peel away the layers that you find out who you are. And I did a call on Sunday, and I was telling my life story over the last 2 years. Like 2 years ago, everything in my life went wrong. I was so ill I couldn't get out of bed. My partner left me. When he went, that was the income, because I'd sort of like given up most of my sole income to work with him, and then that stopped when we were competing, because we weren't allowed to do that joint income when we were competing. So I was just like left with no money. And the transformation from them to now, I mean, it's not even 2 years, because that was August, is huge. And I was saying to the group, if somebody had said to me 2 years ago, I'm going to be doing energy healing worldwide and speaking on telesummits and now doing a video call on telesummits, I would have just said, no way, absolutely, you're off a different planet, because there's no way I would do that. And to go from where I was when I was doing reflexology one-on-one with people and doing ballroom dancing to doing this, it's like completely totally different way of life, and just something that I never ever thought I would do. But the universe will guide us if we let it.
And that's the thing, right, is to follow the guidance of the universe. Sometimes we don't always follow it when we should. We question it, or we think, well, no, that can't be true, that can't be real for me because of our past or our history and so on. But if we follow the guidance from the universe and take that leap of faith, right? It is a leap of faith at the beginning when you're starting to trust that guidance. Just take that leap of faith and see what happens. That's what I always say. Just take one step and see what happens, and then the next step will show up, and then the next step will show up. Just take that first step and start trusting. But sometimes those judgments from ourselves, our family, the cultural and societal judgments, they can block us from even trusting and taking that first step.
Yeah, they can, definitely. They can, and they can be really hidden, and you cannot really know the actual influence that they're having on your life. I mean, I can remember, you know, since I said I would do your call, I've been thinking a lot about, you know, what it is that was stopping me, what I've overcome, and asking lots of questions, really. And it's like, well, you know, it really was me. I was judging me. So why was I judging me? And it took me back to a time when I was about 5 or 6 years old. And I came in from school, and I was really excited, and I came running into the house, and I said, "Mummy, Mummy, I got 9 out of 10 from a maths test." And I was like, so chuffed, so pleased. And she just said, "Why didn't you get 10 out of 10?" And I was just like, you know, just squashed, you know. And maybe she was stressed and having a bad day, whatever. But I very definitely got the message that day that 9 out of 10 wasn't good enough. And I had to get 10 out of 10. And if I didn't get 10 out of 10 and I wasn't perfect, then I wasn't good enough. And, you know, once that's planted in your head, and then somebody else says something similar, then that magnet, it gets added to the magnet, and you just go through your life adding all these magnets to this 9 out of 10 that isn't good enough. And I'm getting goosebumps now. And yeah. And then, you know, and it's like, well, why did I start doing ballroom dancing? Because I don't like being seen. I didn't like being seen when I was ballroom dancing. I enjoyed the dancing and the having fun, but I didn't actually want people to watch me. I would have quite happily danced around with a paper bag on my head. And the reason that I went into the ballroom dancing competing was because I wanted to win, because I was being judged. And I felt I needed to prove that I was good enough, because every time I'd been judged before, I wasn't good enough. So if I competed and I won, then it would be like saying I'm good enough now because I've won. And it's like now I do miss the dancing, and I could go back to the dancing, but it's like, do I need to compete? It's like, well, no, I don't know that I do, because I don't, that drive that was there to have to win and be good enough, that's not there anymore, because I'm quite happy being me now. And and I'm quite happy to say, if somebody doesn't like me, somebody wants to judge me, then that's fine, because I probably won't like them either. So, you know, let's go our separate ways, and I'll just spend my time with people who do like me.
Absolutely. And, you know, you that's so important what you brought up, is that our feeling of not being good enough, right? And not being perfect and not being good enough. Like, is there something that we can release around these things? Like the obviously there's releasings that you do around judgment, about not being good enough, not wanting to be perfect, not being seen.
Yeah, I mean, each one of those issues is very, very huge. It's that they're all really big, and when you trace them back, you know, my experience might be, they all tend to come back to not feeling loved, because you know, we've all heard, you know, many people say that basically there's only 2 emotions, love and fear. So all these emotions that are coming from fear are because we don't feel loved. And when we truly feel loved, then there's no need to be in fear. And actually, you know, the vibrations, they actually all have a numerical value. So it's like there's this huge ladder going up from the low ones of hopelessness and helplessness, where people literally are in a state where they can't help themselves, and they need outside help and outside power to help shift them out of it. And, you know, Dr. David Hawkinson did much work and research on that, and said that people do need that. And then as we come through, you know, we start to climb the ladder, and we reach energies such as anger. Then there's so much power in anger. I mean, you know, we all know that, because, you know, wars are caused by anger. You know, people wanting to insist that they're right and getting angry because, you know, someone else is saying they're right, and so it can cause a fight, it can cause a war, you know, and, you know, but we have a choice. We always have a choice. We all have free choice, so we can choose whether we want to direct our anger into something positive or into something negative. So it's like when my partner left me when I was ill, I was really angry because, you know, I thought he loved me, and I thought, if you love someone, you don't just leave them when they're ill. That's just not my definition of love. And even though I was really ill, this anger just like surged up from nowhere, and I just suddenly started, because we were going to sell the house, I started painting fences and walls and power washing the patio, and I just turned into this crazy obsessed person who was just doing all this really quite hard physical activity with this anger, because I just felt like I had to get rid of it. And even now, if I feel angry, quite often I'll just like whiz around and clean the house and what have you, and I'll do it like 6 times quicker than I would if I wasn't really wanting to do it, you know, because there's just so much action in this energy of anger. And then, you know, when we come up higher still, then we start to come into the enjoyable emotions, you know, love, peace, calm, joy, all the emotions that we want, bliss, inner peace. And, you know, that's where we all want to live. Well, I say all, not everybody believes that. You know, some people believe we have to have bad to appreciate the good. But, you know, everything is a vibration. So if your energy field is all in high vibrations and you don't have any low vibrations in it, then, you know, you don't have to have the bad in your life because it's not there. We can only attract what is in our energy field. And when we're in a high vibration, opposites repel. We're going to repel the lower vibrations that we don't want. So the law of the universe and the law of attraction really is working for us. And like you were saying to start off with, we need to release all of those energies that aren't serving us, and those will be different for everybody. And we can send high vibrations to them as well. So, for example, I was to say, I asked Divine Love to fill all feelings of unloved to everybody on the call with love now.
Mm-hmm.
And that was accepted, and then we reached some layers where we were reaching some of the lower vibrations, and it started to react, you know, the repelling and what have you, and that's what you can see my head flicks. So that was another reason why I wasn't sure about doing the video call, because when I do the releasing, my head flicks. So sometimes it's a gentle flick. I'm going to flick my headphone out in a minute. And sometimes it's really sudden, and sometimes it just like it's totally crazy, shake. And I do look a bit weird. But that's how the energy is released from me. You know, I think I've spoken before about being a satellite, and the divine energies come into me, and I send them down to everybody on Earth. Then they come back up, and they're sent out. And as they come back up, they react through my body, and that's what people see. So I don't know if everybody felt it, but I felt it.
But I mean, whether you're doing this on video or just behind a microphone, or you're doing it in person, it's the same thing, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So when you had your workshops in New York and California, people saw you doing that?
They did, yeah. Although sometimes they might close their eyes, but yeah, they did. Yeah. They did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I said I'm going to do an activation or whatever, it was quite amusing. It just like an example of how programmed everybody is, that everybody would sit up straight, put their feet on the floor. Some of them would put their hands in their lap. They close their eyes, you know, that they're already you know, for the energy work, and I would still be sat there cross-legged trying to get both feet off the floor if possible. I don't want to touch the floor. And you know, and doing the exact opposite to everybody else. But yeah, people did see me, but I could reason with that because it was like a small group, and it was in person, and I could see them back. Whereas where I think, you know, where we are now, like everybody can see us, but we can't see them. That does make you feel more vulnerable.
But so then all you have to do is just focus on me.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Exactly. I don't even think of it. Yeah. I'm just having a conversation with Michelle. That's all I'm doing, right? Okay, so these lower vibrations, these feelings of judgment, these feelings of not being good enough, not loving ourselves, you know, like you said, it's a vicious cycle. So how can we get rid of that programming? Is it just from the releasing and from the transmissions as well? Because I always thought, well, you know, if we're having divine frequencies and transmissions coming in, do we really still need to release? Because those negative vibrations, low vibrations, will release on their own anyways when the higher vibrations are coming in.
That's true to an extent. So anything that's mild or loose or floating around our energy field, then when we send in high vibrations, they'll just like dissolve and disappear. But the big deep-rooted issues that have collected loads and loads of magnets, they won't. They need a lot of power, and you know, some of the releasing I do takes a lot of power, you know, repeatedly to get rid of them. So yeah, and the more somebody has had it, especially if it's gone on through past lifetimes. I mean, abundance in particular, you know, that's another one that's huge, especially for a lot of light workers, because there's so much connected to it. like scarcity, believing, you know, if you're in service, you shouldn't be paid, you know, you know, vows of poverty, all these different things. But then that goes back to lifetime after lifetime. So that is absolutely huge. And for a lot of people, the feeling unloved can be really huge as well. You know, it's carried on through generation after generation. So yeah, that you can need a lot of powerful energies to release those, and also quite a lot of digging around to find them.
Yeah.
You know, people don't necessarily know what their blocks are. That, you know, they might think their block is one thing, but when you start talking to them and chatting to them, you'll say, well, actually, no, I think it's from this. And on more than one occasion, you know, I've said that to somebody, and they'll say, no, I don't think so, and you'll release, and then they'll notice a difference, and they'll say, no, actually, you were right, it was that, but they were so sure it wasn't that, it was something else, because, you know, we're so used to being ourselves that we can't see it from an outside point of view.
That's true. Good point. And you're right. Some of the issues can be really deep-seated, and we don't even know what they are. So yeah, I can see why, how, or where the releasing would definitely be helpful. I just wanted to tell everybody too that if you have a question for Michelle, you can hit *2 to raise your hand, or you can submit a question on the Q&A, which some people have already done, which is fantastic. Thank you. So I had a question or comment here from Sharon. I already told Michelle about this earlier, but she saw it. And Sharon in Kansas City says, I would like to highly, highly recommend Michelle's membership group and all her programs. They are life-changing. If it feels appropriate today, I would like love and light sent to making mistakes, being the recipient of mistakes and judgment and fear about making mistakes. Much love to Michelle. She's the best. Absolutely. I like that one about the fear of making mistakes, because sometimes, you know, if we've done things, chosen certain paths in the past, you know, and they hadn't worked out the way we thought, we think it's a mistake, and then we're afraid to make new choices, right? We're afraid to step out and take new actions because we're afraid that, what if it's another mistake?
Yeah, that's true. How I would phrase that, rather than using the word mistake, which sort of is a judgment that we've done something wrong, and, you know, I could look through my life and say I've made loads of mistakes, or I can say, okay, I chose to do that, and that was the result I got, and, you know, if I could go back in time, then no, I wouldn't do the same thing again. You know, there's probably the majority of life I wouldn't do again. I would change it all. But, you know, we are who we are because of the life we have lived. And, right, you know, if we hadn't lived that life, then we wouldn't be the person that we are now. So what people really want is to move forward and to receive more guidance, and, you know, to be more open to receiving their guidance, so that they're going to move forwards on the right path and be guided away from these, you know, like mistakes that we all think they're mistakes. And the more we release and allow our inner selves to shine and open up, then the more our guidance comes through, and the more you ask as well. Some people don't ask; they don't necessarily believe it, or they just think the guidance is going to come through without them asking. So, for example, about couple of months ago, month and a half, something like that, I decided that I didn't decide, I've always known I don't like sales. I don't like doing sales and promotion, and it's you know, I heard, and I've read in various different places, that the most successful people in the world, all the top really successful people, they actually, whether they do it consciously or subconsciously, they only do what they love, and all the parts of their business that they don't love, they hire other people to do it. And I thought, yeah, that's super cool, because what they're actually doing is being their true selves. They're saying, I love doing this and I don't love doing that, so you're better at doing that than me, so you can do that and I'll carry on doing this. So you know, I was having, you know, a little think about sales and promoting. It's like, okay, I don't like sales and promoting, so I'm going to ask the universe to promote me. And I think, yeah, super cool, I trust the universe. You know, it's got me, you know, it's got me out of the life that I was in like 2 years ago, which was pretty grim. So I was sending love and light to the universe promoting me, and then I find that I'm getting pushed into doing video calls, and, you know, it wasn't something that I wanted to do, but it was like, okay, the universe obviously thinks that, you know, people want to see me, and I need to do video calls, and that's a good way to promote myself. So, you know, the trick is you ask the question, or you say, how do I do this, or whatever, and then you have to be open to the guidance. And even if you're not too keen on the guidance, you still have to, you know, give it a little bit of a go, because if you just keep saying no all the time, then you're not going to get anywhere. And it is, to move forwards, we have to step out of our comfort zone, and quite often we don't want to step outside our comfort zone, but to move into the flow and the high vibrations, we do have to step outside our comfort zone. So yeah,
absolutely. Wow, that is so true. And you know, there's always so many things that I'm doing or want to do, and it's like I have these wonderful ideas, and then it's like, oh, but I'm not sure, because last time I had an idea, it didn't really go the way I wanted. So maybe people stop trusting themselves too, right? They stop trusting their own intuition, their own gut, their own ideas, right? Because sometimes you don't know if it's your own idea from your own mind, or it's an inspired idea.
Yeah, I see everything. If you imagine that life is a path that's got lots of branches, and yeah, you can go off on a branch and have an explore and discover and what have you, and you can think, oh, actually, this wasn't what I thought it was. I'm going to head back onto the other path, and just see life as an adventure and exploring. Mm-hmm. Rather than seeing everything as being right and wrong, because again, seeing things as right and wrong is judging ourselves, and yes. we do have this huge habit and ability to just constantly judge ourselves and put ourselves down, and when we just think, well, try it and see, and if it doesn't work, change it, and just keep fine-tuning it, and if we have to change something, it's not a big deal,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And if something's really bad and we have to scrap it and start again, it's not really a big deal. I'm very much a person who learns from doing things,
Yeah, me too.
And
yeah.
My ex-partner was very much a thinker. He was very logical and a thinker, and he would think, and he would plan, and he'd gather information, and then he would think and plan again from all the information, and then he'd gather some more information, and he'd think and plan, and this would go on and on and on, and I was like, when are you going to do something? You've got all this information, and we used to be very much opposites on that, because he'd pull his hair out because I would come up with an idea, and I'd just say, okay, I'm going to do this, and he'd be, yeah, but what about this, and this, and I'd say, yeah, maybe, but I'm going to do it anyway, and I'd go off and do it, and then I'd find out, oh, actually, everything you said was right. And but then I would come up with another idea, and I would try that idea, and we're all different. I learn from doing, and if somebody's trying to tell me it's not going to work, I have to do it to know it's not going to work. It doesn't matter how many times someone is going to tell me something. If I'm not allowed to learn and try it myself, then I'm not going to learn that I can't do it. And some people can think it all out in their heads and plan it and decide whether it's going to work or not before they take the action. And we're just different. And if you're a person who needs to do things to find out whether it's going to work or not, then get on and do them.
I agree, and that's what I do. I just do it, and I don't always think everything through before doing it. I just do it, and if I'll figure it out along the way, which is what I do. I think this is what I'm going to do. Well, how's it going to work? I don't know, but I'll figure it out, right? It'll all work out. And even sometimes when it looks like it didn't work out, there are still things that we've learned or gained, or the experience. So I consider everything to be like a training ground. It's like I'm just learning about new stuff, and whatever I learn, I'll incorporate it into my next project or into my next idea. So everything is positive, as far as I'm concerned, because I'm always learning. I'm always gaining new experiences, so I've done so many things that I've never done before. It's like, oh, I know, I can do that now. Yeah, so let's see how I can incorporate that into the next project, right? So it's all good, but definitely, me too. I'm a doer, and I just go for it, and we'll figure it out as we go along. Robert is not; he's a thinker. He has all the steps in place first. And it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna start. And so now I don't even tell people now. It's like, yeah, this is, I start doing it, and then I say, oh, by the way, this is what I'm doing. Okay. Then it's like, okay, but we need to do this and this and this first. Like, well, we'll get there. I just go. Okay, we have a question from Arizona, area code 928. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Arizona, who's this?
Hi, my name is Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
How are you? Hey, Michelle,
Fantastic.
how are you? I was hoping you could do a release for me for all energies of lower vibration that are not mine, that might possibly be connected to me.
Wow, that's a big one. Yeah, okay. So I ask Divine Light to fill, remove, release, and send direct to source all energies in Chris that are not his, sending them direct to source now. That actually wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be. The thing about picking up other people's energies is you can do a release that it's like we're a walking magnet, and we will pick them up again. And the only way to prevent constantly picking up other people's energies is to move into higher vibration. So that can't happen. And I went through a phase of this myself. Like very empathic and just constantly picking up everybody's energies. And the more I opened up doing the energy work, it seemed like just going into town was major. I was just like picking up everybody's energies to the point almost where I couldn't walk because I just felt so weighed down with all these energies. And I developed some audios to help me move out of that. So literally these audios were constantly doing what I just did. And I played them on loop 24/7, just sending all energies that are not mine direct to source, sending all energies not mine direct to source. And it had to be done that often for me to shift out of that vibration and move into higher vibration. And then that was cool for a while. I said, yeah, sorted that one. That's really good. And then, a few months later, I then moved into picking them up like psychically. So it was like I'd moved up a level. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh no, I'm not back here again. And I told, no, it's not people. It's just like energies floating around. And so yeah, I went through the same process again, playing all the audios on 24/7, and that shifted it. And it's funny because I was saying to you earlier that I'd have about 2 hours, 2-3 hours of sneezing before the call started, and I was asking because it's like there's no reason for me to sneeze. These energies mine. I was thinking, no, it's like, come on, I don't need this, I don't want this. I was just like blowing my nose, and eventually it clicked. Put your audio on, and so I put the audio on, and it did. It cleared. I went for a walk, so I cleared my nose and what have you. But my nose was streaming. I was sneezing, and it was crazy. It was like I had hay fever. It was like it was all mine. But I just knew that none of that was mine. I mean, I did have hay fever when I was in my teens and my 20s, but I just knew it wasn't mine. And so yes, I've done the release for you, Chris, and I don't know whether you felt it or not, but it's something that needs to be done consistently to actually get rid of those energies. Does that make sense to you?
This is true. Thank you. Can I get one more in?
Sure, go ahead.
Can I get one more? I ask that you bring us up to the highest level of our beingness.
Right. I can send in high energies, but again, that's not something you can do instantly. It takes a lot of work. And in each moment, our highest level of our being is going to be changing. The more energy work we do, the more it's going to shift up. But I can do it for this moment. So if I do this for everybody on the call, and I ask Divine Light and Divine Love to fill everybody on the call, the whole of our minds, whole of our bodies, whole of our spirits and emotions, and the whole of our energy field. So I hope you felt that working, Chris.
That was sweet. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Chris.
Actually, I normally do that, don't I? I normally do an opening transmission, but completely forgot about this time.
Thank you so much, Chris, because I felt that too. So that was great.
Yeah,
thanks so much.
All right. Yeah, I felt that too. It's like, oh, I can feel that coming in, So it's like fantastic. Thank you.
Good. Yeah. Yeah, I normally do that at the beginning of the call to chill myself.
So it's a good thing Chris asked for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Gabby, I have a question from Gabby in New York, and she's saying, what will raise my vibration faster, releasing negative emotions or focusing on implanting positive emotions?
Raising your vibration would be connecting to high energies, so focusing on the positive emotions and connecting to high energies. But there will probably come a point where these habits from these stored black magnets and low vibrations are going to kick in and stop. So there'll come a point where they're going to need to be got rid of.
Yeah. So it's a process of doing both of them. It's a process of the positive emotions or positive feelings being transmitted in and releasing the denser and more ingrained negative beliefs and feelings from the past, right?
Definitely, yeah, definitely. But if somebody wanted to just do one, then the filling. Otherwise, if you just do the releasing, then you're just going to end up having all these released energies sitting in your energy field, like you're sitting in a smog of unwanted energies, which is not good. So connecting to the high vibrations that are always sitting in the sunshine, and then we can release the smog out. But to really shift our energy field, we need to do both.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Now, I wanted to ask. This is a question that we all say that we love each other, ourselves, right? We all say that we love ourselves, but I don't think we really, truly, really love and accept ourselves. Because if we did, we wouldn't have as many challenges and problems in our lives, right? So why is it so important, do you think, to really love ourselves as who we are, exactly as we are, regardless of, whether I'm having a good hair day, bad hair day, if, whatever is happening in my life, loving myself should be, key for everybody, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And basically it comes back to the law of attraction, because like attracts like. So if we're constantly putting ourselves down, then we're in that vibration of putting down, being put down, so we're going to attract more to it. So because we're putting ourselves down, then we're attracting people who are going to put us down into our lives. And so then we have other people putting us down, and then we lose our self-confidence because other people are putting us down. So we put ourselves down more, and we just get caught in this really negative cycle of being put down. Whereas if we say nice things to ourselves, then we're going to attract people into our lives who are going to say nice things to us, love and value us who we are. And we move into a much higher vibration and a positive circle of good instead of the bad. And putting ourselves down is so destructive. And most of the time, the stuff we say to ourselves, we wouldn't say to our best friend. Mm-hmm. And yet, we say it to ourselves without even thinking about it. And I discovered this a couple of years ago, and I started writing a book and about love and self-love, on my view. And it's like, wow, I was monitoring all the stuff I was saying to myself. I was like, wow, I would not dream of saying that to anybody else. That is just like so rude, And yeah, I was quite happily saying it to myself, and half the time not even noticing it. And then people come into your lives who start being rude to you, and we get upset and take offense. But it's like, well, if you're being that rude to yourself, then why shouldn't someone else be that rude to you? Because if you don't love and respect yourself, then other people aren't. So it's what we set the standard for the rest of our lives. So our life. So if we want people to love and respect us and be kind to us, then we have to be kind to ourselves first, because everything that we do to ourselves is exactly a reflection and an attraction of everything else that we're going to have into our lives.
Wow, and that's something that we don't think about, and we don't realize that is what's happening in our life. We don't realize that, because I'm judging myself, because I'm having this negative self-talk, that is actually attracting more of the negative in my outer world. You don't think of that. You don't realize that. When you think of law of attraction, you're only thinking of the positive stuff, right? You're not thinking about the negative stuff.
Yeah, because a lot of people say the law of attraction doesn't work, because they'll think, okay, I want my dream car, I want a job earning, thousands of dollars, and so on, and they're not getting those things they want. So the law of attraction doesn't work, but they're spending the majority of their time connecting to low vibrations, and they're attracting more of those low vibrations to them. So yeah, the law of attraction is working all of the time, and if we keep getting things into our lives, then that's a big hint and clue as to what's in our energy field and what we need to shift to improve our lives. Definitely.
So how, a lot of people, we've all heard about Louise Hay, and how she talks about looking in the mirror and saying I love you.
Yeah.
That's hard. That's hard for a lot of people. I mean, sometimes I think I can do it, but then there are other times when it's like I get really emotional, and it's hard to say I love you. Why is that? Because I'm judging again?
Yeah, it can be judgment, or it could be that going back to our childhood, we've never really felt truly loved and valued and praised for being who we are. We could have had parents who didn't love themselves, and so we've learned that it's not good to learn to love ourselves because they didn't. We didn't have a role model of how to love ourselves, and society as a whole is very much, as I said earlier, the media. It's all about ripping people to shreds and being rude and nasty. And it's almost like if you're kind to yourself in public, if you say I think I look good, or I'm really good at this, or I'm really proud that I did that you're considered to be big-headed and you're boasting. You can't just honestly say I'm really proud of something. Earlier on, I went into my eldest daughter and said, "Do I look okay?" before I come on video. She's very into hair and makeup and what have you, and she said to me, "I'm really proud of you, Mum." And I smiled and said, "Thank you." And I said, "Yeah, actually, I'm really proud of me too." And I couldn't have said that before, but and it's like, I am really proud of me for doing this, and I'm really proud that I can say that I'm really proud of me as well, because it's not really considered a done thing to do, and we really do need to feel pleased with ourselves when we do something that is good, that we didn't think we could do. We push ourselves out of our comfort zone, and it's all about learning to be really kind to ourselves and encourage ourselves to get to where we want to go. And stop all these judgments. And going back to the mirror exercise, that's actually one of the exercises in the package, the Love and Self-Love audios. There's I've got my own mirror exercise in there, and I totally agree. Yeah, because when I first did it, I thought, okay, I've got to be able to do this. I don't believe in offering something to somebody that I can't do myself. And I just cried my eyes out. I did. It took me ages to get to the stage. I mean, to start with, I couldn't look in the mirror. I was just reading these statements and just crying and crying and crying. And then eventually it's like, oh, okay, I think I can look into the mirror now. And it was like I could say it not looking in the mirror, okay, but the minute I looked into the mirror, that was it. I would start crying again. And it took a long time for me to be able to look into the mirror and say, Michelle, I love you, and feel like I meant it. Because we're all doing the best that we can. And if somebody can't look into the mirror and say that they love themselves, then the next option I would say is to say, I want to, or I desire to love you, or I choose to love you. Pick a word. It's like you're saying with the body. Our bodies, and we look in the mirror, we instantly look at all the parts of our body that we don't like. So look in the mirror and start saying, "Wow, your legs are too fat," or your stomach's too fat, or whatever. So instead of doing that, we look in the mirror and say, I choose to have slim legs. I choose to have a flat stomach. Whatever it is we want. Yet we know we haven't got it yet. So looking in the mirror and saying, wow, you're amazing, you've got a fantastic super slim body, when we're looking at our body and we know that's really not true. We're just not going to accept it. We're not going to be able to do that. So pick something that you feel comfortable with saying, I desire to have a lovely slim toned body. I choose to have a lovely slim toned body. I'm prepared to put some effort into having a slim toned body. Work your way up, and as you're kind and you love your body, then your body shape does actually change. It responds to love, just as we know, like water crystals respond to love and various different things. Then our body will respond to love, and you can see instantly when two people are in love, it just shines and radiates out from them. It's obvious to the whole world, and we can do that, give that love to our bodies as well.
And sometimes we sometimes we don't believe that, like, you know, like we don't think that that's possible, but if you don't do it, you won't know.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. And people, you know, the results I get from people in the group, from sending love to various different issues, is just totally amazing and unbelievable. You know, we've all been totally amazed and surprised at all the different positive outcomes we've had from sending love to each other and sending love to people. And, you know, we can do the same, sending love to ourselves and our bodies, definitely.
Absolutely.
I mean, I have to seriously change my attitude and start being nice to me to be on this show. I mean, yeah, the universe guided me and what have you, but I can still look in the mirror and I can still, like, choose to see bad things if I want to. You know, I went to the hairdressers the other day and it's like, okay, this is a challenge. You're going to sit there in front of the mirror, and it's like those hairdressers mirrors somehow have a way of making you look really, really bad. So I'm sat in front of the mirror saying, okay, you're not going to say anything bad, you're just going to say something nice. And the whole time I was there, I was having this challenge with myself to say something nice or say nothing at all. So, you know, you're just not allowed to say anything bad. And it was challenging, but, you know, if we don't make the effort, then we're not going to get the results. And all the time we're putting ourselves down, then again, say we're going to attract that into our lives. And that's something that I'm definitely moving out of. I'm not going back there again.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know, that takes practice too. So, like, you know, each time you catch yourself judging yourself and you catch it, that's a moment of awareness, so that you know that next time you won't do that as often, you know. So it just, you know, the more you do it, the easier it will get, and the more you will shift by doing that.
Yeah, that's so true. Yes, we're so stuck in habits.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just a habit. So we can create a new habit, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I have a question from Michelle in New York, and she's saying, so are allergies like hay fever typically not ours and can be released by returning to sender or sending to divine light?
Yeah, definitely. That's what I was doing earlier. Yeah. I mean, you know, it can be ours, or we can be picking it up empathically from other people. So, and it doesn't matter whatever you're feeling, you know, whether it's anger or a physical symptom, you can always ask, is this mine? And, you know, feel what the answer is. And if it's not yours, yeah, just send it to light, send it to source, send it to sender, whatever, you know, feels right for you. And if you do it enough times, it will go.
Yeah, enough time. So that doesn't mean just doing it once. But how do you know when it's not yours?
I get a feeling. Well, also my head will nod or shake. So if I was to ask a question, I would get a nod or shake. So, for example, if I say, "Is my name Michelle Carter?" And then my head just automatically nodded there. You know, is my name Tom Jones? And my head shakes. So I can get an instant answer. You know, for people who don't have that gift, then you can usually get a feeling in your stomach of, you know, churning if it's wrong, lightness if it's right. And again, this is a skill that you can learn to do. And again, the more you practice doing it, the more it's going to work for you. But usually, if it's a physical issue in your body, then you'll have a feeling whether it's yours or not. And and you'll just think, so I'm sneezing, it's like, you know, it's just instantly, this isn't mine, you know. And whereas, you know, you do tend to know when it is yours.
Perfect. And then I have a question from Deborah in, I think it's Rhode Island, and she said, can you still do the entire opening transmission now, Michelle? Thanks, it was always so wonderful.
Yeah, but I can't do it from memory, so you have to excuse me a minute while I dig it out.
Thank you, Deborah, for asking, because, you know, we all love the transmissions from Michelle.
I did write. Where is it? Sorry about this.
That's okay. We just go with the flow.
Yeah, go with the flow. Yeah, I did a different one actually for my Sunday call, which was about. Ooh, I've lost my. Everything's going totally me now, being clumsy myself. Yeah, I wrote a new one on Sunday, which is about be open to change, which I thought would be quite nice, because a lot of what we're talking about is change and making different choices. So I'll do that one then, yes?
That'd be great, thank you. Yep.
Okay, so for those of you who haven't heard my energy work and transmissions before, it is, it's pretty powerful. So please don't listen if you're driving or needing your full attention, because it can make you sleepy and not have full focus, lightheaded and dizzy. Shefali's off already.
Yep, I'm off.
So I ask Divine Light to fill everyone and all energies on this call and listening to this call now and in the future with pure divine light overflowing. So all energies and all space on this call and connecting to me and this call are overflowing with divine light. And this radiant, bright, pure divine light shines out from us all now and into the world and lights up the whole world. I ask divine truth and divine wisdom to fill your minds and allow you to be open to new information, new insights, and new beliefs that will open new doors to a new, better life for you. And if you choose this new, better life for you, that you open yourself up to take the steps to create this life. To be open to guidance from the universe, to keep taking the next step and the next step. I ask that you truly awaken to the knowledge that only you can choose to do this. And whilst others can guide you and support you, only you can take the required action to know and understand that you don't need to know the whole process, how to do the whole process, because the universe knows how to do this. You only need to listen and take each step when you are guided. I ask divine peace to fill your minds now. May the whole of your mind be filled to overflowing with divine peace. Allow your mind to relax, switch off, and for all the old programs, switch off from all the old programs, and to be open to a new, better life now. I ask that divine joy to fill the whole of our minds now, filling our minds with divine joy. Allowing divine joy to fill the whole of our minds and to make us feel happy, full of vitality and enthusiasm, feel inspired to shift and move into a new, better life. Ask that divine light and divine love flows into us, fills and expands our hearts, and flows out to everybody on the call and in the group. Asking divine light to fill and flow into us, to fill and expand our hearts. Send love and light out to everybody in the group, and send love and light out to the whole world. Asking divine love and light to fill us to overflowing, fill and expand our hearts, to overflow out into the group and everybody on the call, and to overflow and fill the whole of the world with pure divine love, light, peace and joy, to overflowing now. Well, there's quite a lot of energies being rejected there. I don't know whether it's because I don't know whether my head normally shakes that much when I'm doing that opening transmission or not. Because when you're not being watched, you don't tend to pay too much attention. But it was like, whoa, yeah, it was shaking all the way through that, and it particularly was shaking when I said, truly awaken to the knowledge that only you can choose to do this. That was huge, and I think probably one of the biggest things that people could take away from the call is that. Yes, you can use healers and people to help you, but at the end of the day, it's a choice in every moment. Every moment we can choose to connect to a high vibration or connect to a low vibration. Every moment we can choose to push ourselves out of our comfort zone or stay where we are. And it's only through constantly making the choice to move forwards that we move forwards.
I've been yawning like crazy. I mean, I don't know if you saw. I've been yawning like crazy. It's like, wow, that was powerful. It's like, oh, and like not just like minor little yawns, like deep yawns. It's like, whew, wow, that was good. I mean, I'm still out of it. I feel like
it was probably just as well we didn't do it at the beginning of the call then.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Deborah, for asking that, because that was great, because and see now it's like my body wants to move and stretch, it's like releasing and processing. And so on. Yeah, that was powerful. Wow. Whew.
Yeah, I can still feel that buzzing in my head.
Okay, good. So it's not just me, because even my head feels weird, congested. It's like I can't hear you properly even. It's like, what's going on here? It's like, is something wrong with my headphones?
Yeah, no, mine's the top of the head. It feels like I want to take a plug out the top of my head. In fact, I'm going to. So I'm going to ask everything that I'm feeling now to be sent direct to source. Send everything I'm feeling direct to source. Sending all direct to source. Ooh, a releasing going on. Sending all energies in, blocked, and processing in my divine channel direct to source now. Sending them again. Sending them again. Oh, that made me really lightheaded. Right,
I felt that too.
Yeah, filling with divine love, light, peace, and joy to overflowing. Well, that shifted some of mine, so that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I could feel that shifting in my head. I don't think we're going to be able to go to sleep right away, Michelle. Oh yeah, so Deborah says, thank you so much for the transmission, Michelle. So potent and so timely. See, I can't even talk.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
Yes, and this is what happens when Michelle comes on the show and does these transmissions and releasings. It's like, I get to that point where it's like, I can hardly talk, It's like, I just want to lie down and go to sleep, but I'm not tired, but, it's like, oh, God. Because they're so powerful, right?
Yeah. I mean, I quite often say when I'm doing my group calls, like, oh, I've just gone totally dippy now. It's like my brain is switched off and I can't think. And yeah, it's quite hard to do a call when you can't think.
I know, right?
You know what you're going to say, but you still need to be able to. Well, especially when you're on a switchboard, you definitely need to be able to think when you're operating the switchboard. So yeah.
Exactly, but I'm used to it now. I can do it. I can do it all at once. I can focus and be in the energy and do what I need to do. No, that was great. So, Michelle, do you want to talk about it's a brand new special offer. It has never been offered anywhere else before. So I'm excited to see what's in there because, I mean, yeah, I have it, but I have looked at it briefly, but there's, I just love hearing you talk about it because there's always so much in there that people can resonate with, and it can be beneficial to all sorts of people with different issues, not just one thing, right? So if if you're on the webcast, you can click on speaker special offer. And if you're on the phone, it's at awakentohappinessnow.com/Michelle 2014-05. Wow. Why did I make it so long? Right. So awakentohappinessnow.com/Michelle 2014-05. That's where it is. Yeah. Okay. Phew. I don't know why I made it so long. It's like, it happens. Wasn't thinking. Okay, so this is Michelle's new offer, and it's called Feel Good About You and Your Body.
Yes, yeah. This has I've been asked for so some of the packages is stuff that I have already had on my website that people have really enjoyed. But the 7 new powerful audios to transform your body and release excess weight and emotional eating, that is brand new. That's literally only been recorded this month. And so many people do have weight issues and eating issues, and they find it really difficult to love themselves when they look in the mirror and they don't like what they see. And a lot of these weight issues and emotional issues, they're actually they're bad habits and bad programming as well. So I recorded 7 audios to address this, to really help people let go of these. So I shall just go through them.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is releasing emotional eating. So it's all the reasons why we eat food when we're not even hungry, really. If we're bored or we're feeling sad or upset, there's lots of different reasons why we might turn to food when actually we could do something else different. So this audio is releasing all the causes behind the scenes that we don't necessarily think of. I mean, we might sometimes know that we're upset and we turn to food, but we might not be aware of all of them. We might not be aware how often we eat when we're bored instead of when we're actually hungry. And the next one is releasing weight loss. So again, all the reasons we have for putting on weight, the reasons why we beat ourselves up. It covers physical reasons why we might be overweight, but also being free of the need to beat ourselves up because our body weight and shape isn't the size that we want it to be. Releasing the need to weigh ourselves every day and then getting upset because the scales haven't changed. That one's quite huge. I was really pleased that when my partner went, he took the bathroom scales with him. I didn't ever have to feel tempted to get on the bathroom scales again. And
Mm-hmm.
and it's not because I don't care how I look or whatever, but I can look in a mirror and see how I look. My clothes will tell me whether they're tight or not. I don't need to jump on the scales, and it can be really damaging because if you've done lots of exercise and you're building muscle and you're turning fat into muscle. Muscle actually weighs more than fat, and
right.
I did this lots of times. You go out and do loads of workout and what have you, and think I'm feeling really good. I'm really feeling I'm making progress. And then you go and step on the bathroom scales, and this number comes up at you, and you're like, what? No. And in the end, I would say to myself, why do you even do it? If you're going to get really uptight and annoyed and start shouting at the scales, then don't even step on them. And as I said, we know from our clothes and looking in the mirror whether we are where we want to be or not. We don't actually need to get on the scales. And some people can be a little over obsessed about what the scales are saying, and letting that ruin their lives, almost like an addiction to weighing yourself. So it's doing all the things to do with our weight that we could be so much happier about if we didn't do. And then eating beliefs. There's lots of strange eating beliefs that we have, and we can actually affect the vibration of our food. Depending whether we choose to enjoy it or whether we choose to feel guilty because we've eaten it. And for those who aren't sure, I'm going to give you an example for this. So if I was to say to you, chocolate, yes, chocolate, yeah, it's very fattening, lots of sugar in chocolate, yeah. I really want some chocolate, yeah, it's so fattening. If I eat chocolate, I'm going to put on weight. Yeah, if I'm really, really craving chocolate, I want to eat chocolate. Yeah, if I want to put on weight. So how are you feeling? Feeling like you really shouldn't eat it, and if you eat it, it's bad, and really quite negative. Whereas if I was to say, wow, I love chocolate, yeah, it tastes really good. I love eating chocolate. When I eat chocolate, I just feel so good that it's really good for me because it makes me feel good. And anything that makes me feel good is good. So chocolate's a high vibration. And now you feel like it's okay to eat chocolate, you know?
Mm-hmm. I like that.
You know, what's changed? You know, chocolate is the same. And,
yes.
You know, nothing has changed other than our viewpoint and the vibration that we're giving it. And just as we can change the vibration of water by sticking love on a glass or by sticking hate on a glass and freezing the crystals, we can change the vibration of our chocolate, depending on whether we want to feel guilty about eating it and saying it's full of calories and it's not good for us, or saying actually it's full of magnesium and there's lots of good things in chocolate. It's made from cocoa beans, so it's actually a fruit. So chocolate's really healthy, and yeah, wow, I'm gonna enjoy eating it because it tastes good and I like it, you know. So there's so much behind the scenes that we can shift that you know really is going to help us. So and then like filling new eating beliefs is changing all the bad beliefs for new beliefs that you know our body does actually know what's good for us. And there was scientific evidence done where they actually they videoed a room full of children. There was like a massive tables were filled with like party food and good food and junk food and various different food, and they videoed the children, and they actually found that over the course of the day the children all ate a variety of food. They didn't just eat all the junk food. Their bodies were telling them what to eat, and they had a balanced diet. And you know, our bodies can do that if we don't interfere with the process. So that's filling us with new eating beliefs, and the same with our body and our weight beliefs. You know, allowing ourselves to like ourselves, to you know, believe that we can be slim and we can look good, or we can be slimmer than we are. Excuse me, I'm still releasing from that release. And just helping us to fill ourselves with new beliefs about our body, our weight, our shape, so that we can move forward. And then there's 2 audios to affirm these, and these 2 in particular, the affirming ones, you can play on loop. And you can play them on silent on loop as well, very low volume, so you can't hear them. And they will really, it's like programming your mind to take on these new beliefs. That, so for example, for the affirming new body weight, I choose to accept that I am beautiful on the inside. And the more I feel and focus on my inner beauty, then the more this will shine out and be reflected in my physical body. You know, we all know that's true. It's the same with someone's face. You know, when someone's happy, then you know that's going to shine out of their faces. When someone's angry, then you know you're not going to see happy, shining energies coming out of their face because they're angry. And the same with our eating beliefs. As I said earlier, that our bodies actually know what we can and can't. Well, not even that what we can and can't eat. That our body is going to give us a balanced diet. So this is about allowing us to eat chocolate and crisps and whatever we want to eat. Knowing that our body is going to monitor what we're eating, and we're going to have a healthy diet, and just to let go of all these I should eat that, I shouldn't eat that, you know, I must have a really boring diet of salad non-stop to have a nice figure, and to have a nice figure just through enjoying life and loving ourselves and being happy. So that's all brand new. Then to go along with that, item 2, this is a 90-minute replay of one of my live calls on self-love and releasing heart barriers. So, you know, if we've had a life of feeling unloved, then we will have built up lots of barriers around our heart. And when somebody hurts us, we tend to retreat and want to hide and not put ourselves out on the line to get hurt again. And this is when we collect and build all of these heart barriers. So the whole of this 90-minute call is dedicated to releasing heart barriers and self-love, and it's answering questions that people on the call at the time asked about, and doing releases on them for various different things. So it lists releasing blocks to feeling divine love, releasing energies blocking your heart, releasing the heart barriers, releasing all energies preventing you from receiving pure divine energies, because some people actually will have blocks to actually receiving the energies. So all reasons not to be open to receiving the energies, and all reasons and energies preventing you from loving yourself. Obviously that was huge. And all energies relating to not feeling loved and feeling unwanted, and that one is totally huge as well. I mean, you know,
absolutely.
Yeah. Yes. So, and then we have my Love and Self-Love audio package. There's quite a lot in this. It's 5 audios. The first one is releasing ties and bonds, using Archangel Michael to release ties and bonds to or anybody in our life, basically, who has been an unwanted negative influence on us. And quite often people know that somebody is influencing them, they're having this negative influence on them, but they can't actually shift the ties and bonds themselves. So this audio really does that. And somebody in one of my groups recently posted about it, and she was raving about it, saying it was absolutely amazing. So you know, because I was thinking, well, actually, this is one of my earlier audios, but she was still raving about it and saying it was amazing. So I was really pleased to hear that.
Oh, good.
I don't use Archangel Michael anymore. I use Divine Energies, but she was saying it was amazing. So yeah, he does his stuff, Archangel Michael.
Yep.
Right, and then there's one for releasing heart walls, heart barriers. So again, you can have that just in a small audio that you can listen to, which is much easier to listen to regularly than going through the whole 90-minute audio. You know, people might listen to the 90 minutes once, but then they're not necessarily going to want to keep listening to it all the time to get to the bits that they want. So that is a release, just to release your heart barriers and heart walls, and obviously that's very important that we do that to love ourselves. Affirming self-love. So this is our list of statements where we need to look in the mirror and tell ourselves that we love ourselves, we're proud of ourselves, and all the things that we probably wouldn't say to ourselves. And actually, when I was making the list out, I was actually listing all the things that I wouldn't say to myself. So it is all the things that we wouldn't say to ourselves that we need to say to ourselves to learn to love ourselves. And it just needs to be done with love until we can do it. So yeah, it's a process. Another audio on self-love, I released to be me. And this is similar to the affirming, but this is actually releasing the reasons why we can't love ourselves. So whereas the affirming is us saying it, this is me calling in energies to release it from you. And then the last one in that package is the Angel of Love releases you. And this is one of my longer audios. It was designed just sort of to bring you into a place of peace and stillness, and just to feel calm and allow yourself to be filled with peace and calm. So that's a nice relaxing one to get you into the present moment and just feeling what you're feeling, really.
Nice.
Item 4, this was recorded in America. I think I said to you before that I found the energies in America were so much higher, so I did some recording when I was out there. So yeah. And this one is similar to the transmission that I did earlier, where I ask divine love to fill the whole of your mind, body, spirit, energy field, but also your throat, heart, and soul, because we do have a lot of barriers around our heart and soul, and quite a lot of our issues come from our throat, not wanting to speak out, speak our truth, express ourselves. So it covers the whole of our being, that one. And then the next two, these are 2 new ones, again recorded in America. These are very powerful. AM and PM cleansing your energy field audios. So they're both short, only like 1 to 2 minutes long. So you can just listen to them in the morning to release anything you've picked up during the night. And when you listen to that for the first time, you will be amazed at how much energy releases. You think, wow, I've just been asleep. But no, we've been a magnet whilst we've been asleep, and we've picked up loads of stuff. And also to give you a bit of a buzz and a boost to start off your day in a high vibration and feeling good. And then the night one releases everything that you've picked up during the day. And we can all understand that we would have picked up stuff from the day because we've been out and about with people, obviously. But again, there's energies there. And asking that you have a peaceful night's sleep and wake feeling refreshed and full of vitality.
I need those.
It does work, actually. It does. Yeah, it's amazing. I've woken up because, with the adrenal fatigue and what I've sort of not been a morning person for quite a while. But when I do that, and when I ask to wake up feeling full of vitality, it does actually work. Yeah, it's amazing. And then item 6, again, this is brand new. This is my new High Vibers group membership. So I've got a new membership group out, and this is giving you a 3 months membership to the group. So you'll get to discuss and share issues with other people in the group. I post in the group every day. Actually, I'm usually in the group 2, 3, 4 times a day. So because I enjoy being there, I like sharing and helping people. So I usually pop in there. If I want to have a cup of coffee, I'll usually go in there and see what's going on whilst I'm drinking my coffee and what have you. So it's a very high vibration. Everybody is in there very loving. There's no judgment. There just isn't. We will all support everybody. It doesn't matter what people say. It's totally, all the comments are totally about loving you, moving forward, supporting yourself, and doing the best you can. And nobody judges you or puts you down. Mm-hmm. And there's extra bonuses to go with this. There's a free live call. I do energy work every day. So I'll do divine transmissions of divine love, divine peace, and divine joy. And then I'll also do 3 high vibration energy transmissions each day. And I'll do 3 for the week, and then the next week I'll change them. So you're going to get about 4 weeks in a month. You're going to get 12 different transmissions in a month, and there'll be anything from sending high vibrations of feeling cherished, feeling loved, feeling excited, feeling safe and protected. So lots of different things. I've got a list of about 40, probably nearer 50 or more now, that I choose from, and the people in the group are always giving me new ones to add to the group as well. So there's no shortage of things to send love to and high vibrations, and it really makes a difference. So that is the package, and it's $147, which I think is a great price for everything that's in there, because these audios and everything in there, they really will shift your life. They are powerful, and as I said earlier in the call, I'm not a salesperson. I don't like doing sales, and if I didn't believe in it, then I wouldn't be doing it. And virtually everything that I do, I've done for me, and then developed it into something for everybody else. So I know that my work does work because I've tested and tried it out first. So yeah.
Absolutely, and you're right. There's a lot in this package, and some of it is brand new. So I love all of the Transform Your Body audio recordings, because as we are becoming more authentic, right, just being ourselves and accepting ourselves, it doesn't mean that just because we accept ourselves doesn't mean we can't change things about ourselves. So if there's something you'd like to change, that's great, but at the same time accept who you are and love who you are. So I love all the the self-love ones that go with the Transform Your Body audio recordings, because I think it's so important, because I love myself, and there's I could lose like 5-10 pounds. I could, but so there's no judgment there, so it's about accepting who I am, but wanting to change some of my eating habits, wanting to change some of my because I know I don't eat healthy, I don't pay attention to my body and things like that, which I'd like to more and more. So these kind of things help you with affirming new beliefs, affirming new body image as well, right? And loving yourself at the same time. So yes, change without any judgment, and love yourself at the same time. I just love it. I think that's fantastic. Great package.
Yeah, and I haven't actually worked with the weight loss and the eating ones myself yet, because of other things that's going on in my life. I gave myself a ban on releasing, because I'd done so much. I got to the point where I just needed to fill with high vibrations. I needed to honor myself. It's like, okay, I've done so much releasing that I just need to fill in. I'm sitting in smog, and I need to clear all the smog away. And but obviously I wrote them, and I recorded them, and I edited them. And just from doing that, I found that I was doing more exercise. And it was like, wow, it's like, whereas before I was like, I really should do it. Yeah, but I'm feeling really tired from energy today, so I could find a reason, an excuse. And it's not necessarily a reason, an excuse for me, because obviously with the adrenal fatigue, I had it because I literally pushed myself to destruction. So it's a very fine balance for me between, I know I want to do the exercise, and I need to do the exercise, but I need to listen to my body, and if my body is saying no, you shouldn't do it now, then I shouldn't do it. Whereas for other people, it might be that they just in habit of not doing it, and just have got very into sitting watching TV and doing other things. But even with me wanting to do the exercise, and sometimes, you know, thinking, no, I'm too tired or whatever, just from, I say, recording them and editing them, I was suddenly far more enthusiastic about doing the exercise. So yeah, I imagine that if you know, when someone's listening to them properly, they're really going to work. And actually, one lady who bought them, because I offered them to my group. I offer special deals to people who are in the membership group, so it's only the membership group and here. And she said that she lost, and she probably asked me how much this was, so I'll say it in American as well as in English. She said that she lost a stone, and she only bought them a week ago, and she's lost a stone, which is £14. So I was gobsmacked. I was amazed. It's like, wow, I'm going to start listening to them now. Not that I need to lose a stone, but you know, I could lose a few pounds. So, which I think most of us really think, you know, we do, and it's those last few pounds that are usually the hardest to shift. So it's really great to have something that helps us do it without making it such a chore and making us miserable. I mean, I think that's the whole thing about food and diets and everything, is it doesn't actually give us the required results, but it makes us very miserable, which is putting us in a low vibration. So this is all high vibration and good for us.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what I like about it. It's all high vibration, or releasing the low vibrations, you know, and filling in with higher vibrations and divine energies, and you know, affirmations, and you know, things like that. So that, you know, it doesn't leave you empty, you know, because when you're releasing, you know, it doesn't leave you empty, because we're also filling in with the divine energies, right?
That's right. Yeah, yeah, and that's why I've got the affirming and the filling as well. So that, I mean, people need to listen to the affirming and the filling a lot more than the releasing. Otherwise, they will find them sitting in a smog. And I'm going to say this now so people know, your smog, if you listen to the releasing too much, is that you could actually like bloat and put on weight because you're just doing it too quickly. So it's very important that people do listen to the filling and the affirming first. So you really fill yourselves up with bright sunshine, and then these magnets just whip out, and then you'll get your desired body, and you're not sitting in all the bad energies of all the reasons why you're putting weight on.
Interesting. Wow, thank you. So how are you feeling now, Michelle, after doing this video call?
Yeah, I'm feeling okay. Probably feeling like I can't believe I've done it. Probably won't really believe it until I watch the replay, and then I'll probably be hiding somewhere. So, oh my God.
But before you watch the video replay, make sure you celebrate somehow, right? Because this was an accomplishment for you, right? So make sure you celebrate.
Definitely, yeah. Well, maybe, as I say, it's 1:30 now, so maybe now. But then, like you said, you're on a high after with all the energies in me, so I'm probably not going to sleep for a few hours anyway. So yeah, I'll do something to celebrate.
Good for you. So thank you so much for, you know, having the courage to step out and shine. You know, it really means a lot, and I really appreciate it. I told you it's going to be fun and easy, right? It's easy, it's fun. Yeah. It's just like having a conversation or a chat with a friend, right?
It is, definitely. Yeah.
So I'm glad you did that, but it just shows to your community too that you are willing to step out of your comfort zone. You know, so so you are a great role model for your community to, you know, so then they might shine a little bit more. They might step out of their comfort zone a little bit more and be able to do more of what they'd like to do, right?
Yeah, definitely, and that is very much how things work. I mean, when I'm sharing my life and my stories with people, they say it's very inspiring, and it helps them to move forward in their lives. And you know, there'll be some lovely comments saying, "Wow, you know, well done, go for it," and what have you. And I'm hoping that it will inspire other people to do the same, because once you make the decision, it's much easier than I thought. I thought I was going to be nervous wreck, and actually it's been cool, it's been fun. It has literally just been like having a chat with you. Yeah, definitely.
Great, wonderful. Now we know it's really late in the UK, so in Europe, you know, they're 5 to 6 hours ahead. So thank you so much, Michelle, for being with us today. Really, really appreciate it. It's always so much fun. I love the energy. You know, I'm finally starting to feel, you know, balanced, right? Feeling balanced now. So I really want to appreciate. Thank you for that. See, I can't quite talk. And for the people that called in and submitted questions, thank you so much. Because we got that energy transmission, we got some releasing, you know, so that was great. Yay! Always ask, you never know, right? So thank you so thank you for being on the call and asking questions, asking for those transmissions, and sharing your challenges too, because you know that's really important. It helps all of us to release, because we all have a little bit of that. You know, whatever you're going through, we can all relate, and we have a little bit of those magnets inside of us too, right? So it helped us to release as well. So thank you, everyone. It's been fantastic. It's been great. I'm going to wish you a good night and continue to live a life filled with joy, peace, love, abundance, and happiness. See you soon. Ciao.
Thanks. Bye.